Hi, welcome to another session of Quick Math. I'm Sirisha. Today's session is going to be on the topic types of fractions. Let's get into the video. So, the types of fractions are divided into 6 types. Let's see one by one. The first one is like fraction, unlike fraction, unit fractions, proper fractions, improper fractions and mixed fractions. So here we have 6 types of fractions. Let's see one by one with the detailed examples. So the first one is like fractions. What are like fractions? The fractions that have the same denominator are called like fractions. So like fractions will have same denominators. Same denominators. For example, if I take 1 by 7, 2 by 7, 14 by 7. If you observe, all these examples have same denominators, 1 by 7, 2 by 7 and 14 by 7. So, like fractions are if the fractions that have the same denominators are called like fractions. Now go for the unlike fractions. What are unlike fractions? The fractions that have different denominators are called unlike fractions. So here, if it has different denominators, they are called unlike fractions. Let's see with examples. So here I am taking 2 by 9, 17 by 12, 14 by 19, 18 by 16. If you observe, all these fractions have different denominators. So, if the fractions have different denominators, we say those fractions are unlike fractions. So, if you observe 9, 12, 19, 16, these are all different denominators. Now, let's move on to the next one, that is unit fractions. What are unit fractions? The fractions that have the numerator as 1 and the denominator as a whole number. Those fractions we call them as unit fractions. That means, suppose if the numerator is 1 and the denominator is a whole number. Let's see with examples. So, here I am taking 1 by 7 and 1 by 20, 1 by 16. If you observe, all the numerators contains 1. All the numerators are having 1. But the denominator is a whole number. So, if a numerator has 1 and the denominator contains a whole number, those fractions are called unit fractions. Simply, if we have 1, that is a unit fraction. Now, let's move on to the next fraction, that is proper fraction. The fraction that has the numerator as less compared to the denominator, those fractions are proper fractions. Let's see with examples. So, here, if a numerator is less compared to what? Compared to the denominator. If the numerator is less to the denominator, then we say these fractions are proper fractions. Let's take some examples. Here I am taking 2 by 9. If you observe, the numerator is small compared to the denominator. In the same way, the next one, that is 12 by 16. If you observe, this example also contains the numerator value is less compared to the denominator. So, if the numerator value is less compared to the denominator, those fractions are called proper fractions. Now, if you observe, the unit fractions are also proper fractions. The unit fractions are also proper fractions because the numerator is less compared to the denominator. So, unit fractions are also proper fraction. So, now let's move on to the next fraction, that is improper fraction. The fractions that have the numerator greater compared to the denominator. In the proper fraction, we have the numerator is less, but in the improper fraction, it will be opposite to the proper. That means the numerator is greater compared to what? Compared to the denominator. If the numerator is greater compared to the denominator, then those fractions are called improper fractions. Let's see with examples. So here I am taking 16 by 12. If you observe, 16 is greater compared to the denominator. Now, let's take one more example. Here I am taking 17 by 6. Here also 17 is greater compared to the denominator. So, these type of fractions are called improper fractions. Improper fraction is nothing but if the numerator value is greater compared to the denominator. Now, let's move on to the next fraction, that is mixed fraction, which is the last fraction of types of fractions. So, mixed fraction is nothing but it is a combination of a whole number and a fraction. So, which type of fraction? That is proper fraction. So, here I am taking mixed fraction is nothing but a combination of a whole number. It is a combination of a whole number and a proper fraction. So, let's see with an example. Here I am taking an example as 2 1 by 7. If you observe, 2 is a whole number and 1 by 7 is a fraction. Which type of fraction? That is a proper fraction. Nothing but a whole number and a proper fraction combination. Let's see one more example. Here I am taking 1 1 by 2. If you observe, 1 is a whole number and 1 by 2 is a proper fraction. So, a combination of a whole number and a proper fraction are called mixed fractions. Hope you liked today's session. If you did, please give me a thumbs up and show your love towards our channel. If you have any further queries, leave me a comment. I will get back to you. Stay tuned for the channel for more interesting and easy content.
I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.